Monk is really weak. Some healers are just not up to snuff right now. I guess they're gonna iron it out, but like Renew doesn't heal jack shit. It literally ticks off 500, and people having like 300,000 health, it's not really doing anything. And what the hell am I supposed to do here? Seeker Fellspear. He should be somewhere around here, but he's not. I don't know where. This is ridiculous. Is there like some hidden path that I haven't gone through? No. God damn it. Where was I? Yeah, like the monk. Monk is not really healing that much. It's just it's the same situation as with the with the discipline priest. They got one tool that's instant and an instant heal, or hot that is. It's just not doing anything. And the other things are all cast based, or kinda cast based. You just have to channel something and then they get instant. But you can also be kicked in that channel. So, well, it's still, they are still able to put out tremendous burst heal, and they still have tools to get away. But if they get pinned, or if they just get focused in general, they just fall out of effectiveness, or fall out in effectiveness so much. It's unreal. But and then with the nerfs to the CC, you kind of get more uptime. Everybody does. So it's not only positive, it's not only negative, but also it's not only positive. So it kind of has like downside effects to everything. And I don't have any idea where to go right now. Is there like? Wait. So let me just check out this place. So freaking labyrinth. This is like the entrance to the Felguard. And there's the way that I came, I guess. There is just the Felguard. Nothing else in here. Okay. So what I haven't done yet is I haven't gone out of the other exit. I assume this is another exit, but because I kind of have seen another exit on the other side too. So let me just see where this leads me. It could also be a possibility that you have to just walk through this. But I can't imagine that to be. Let me just see where I'm gonna end up. There is an infernal. Well, this is not exactly an exit. Oh, I found him. Oh yeah, finally. Problem with this dungeon is basically everything looks the same. That's kind of like the problem. Why do I still have this track in my list? This is like ridiculous. Okay, so let's get some flowers and then, well, I guess we are done then for some quests. Well, yeah, this is like kind of like my thoughts on the whole Draenor thing. Otherwise, it's looking great. The reduction in damage is just a blessing. Just playing on live is so totally different than playing on Draenor. It's like you just don't have to worry about being global anymore. It's just so freaking awesome. For example, I was playing with a friend. He played a mage on live, and we were playing against I guess I know there was a paladin in there, and I think there was a shaman in there too. Something that can really burst. So we were playing against this team. We were basically winning. We had some cooldowns of them, but they still had some left, and we have forced them. We have basically discarded all the defensive cooldowns. But then it's just they just popped everything again, and basically I was chain healing. I just tapped the button. I was just spamming that regrowth. It was going on. Every heal had crit. Like I was critting for 80k like 4 or 5 times. We still died. I haven't got any CC. I was standing there spamming that freaking button, but he was dead. What the fuck? How am I supposed to heal against this kind of damage if spamming the button isn't enough? Like seriously, it should be in like spamming like the healing button, like your fresh of heal, which is basically like the same thing as regrowth. Should be enough to basically heal everything. Every kind of damage this comes into, especially if they all crit. So, why the fuck would I have to invest a cooldown? Or I don't even have a cooldown to that point. By that point, and as a druid, I don't really have that many cooldowns that boost my healing. Basically, it's like only Heart of the Wild, which is kind of like can be considered a real cooldown. Yeah, I just couldn't hear through it, and he had no block left. I actually told him that he was fine. I mean, I was spam healing him. He should have been fine, but he still died, and that's kind of like a pretty bad thing. It's just, and that's something that they just changed. They just changed it with Warlocks. Still, you have like things that deal a lot of damage. It's never gonna go away, and it's a good thing that they still deal damage. But everything your time to kill is basically doubled, and that's a godsend. It's a real godsend, and your healing is slightly above what a DPS can do. It's just so slightly above, and it's right where it needs to be. I was getting crit. The highest crit I ever received was from Paladin. He had popped everything, and he was throwing his hammer at me. His hammer crit for 56k or something. That was literally the highest crit that I've seen. Probably not the highest crit I've ever received, but what I've seen so far. And my healing is basically well, I'm healing with my go-to heal. I'm not counting all the hearts, and I got so many of them. It's unbelievable. I'm healing for around 35k with like a spamming heal, and combine that with the hearts, it's enough to heal the damage. It's enough. And with that thing just reducing, or with that thing just stealing 50k and you having like 300k, you just don't die so fast. It's compared to now, where you have like 500k health, and like an elemental shaman or a melee shaman can hit you for like 200k out of your 500, or basically 600, which it's ridiculous. Just think about it. It's one freaking hit that just deals 200k damage, literally a third of your health, and then then you got a maid which could do basically the same. Probably not in one hit, but in almost the same amount of time. And you just my heals are critting for 1k max. Harm are supposed to deal with 200k hits. They have to get CC'd and you have to be really quick. And it's kind of like, it's a really predictive playstyle. And some people like it. So don't get me wrong, some people like that you just deal tons of damage, but being global is an obvious problem. And everybody that argues that being global, you can't argue that being one shot is good for a game. If you have like nothing against that. Like my mage. If he takes a lot of damage, he has to block, and he does and that's a good thing, but sometimes he just dies within a global cooldown, and then he just can't block. It's that simple. He was doing something else. He was doing like Frost Nova, and in that cooldown he's at 80%. That thing just triggers a global cooldown. He's on 80% health. He should be fine, right? But no, he's just dying in that global. He's spamming the freaking shit out of the block button. But it's not going off. He's died. He's dead before that global can receive. So what the fuck? That's an obvious flaw with the high damage thing, and that's something they're gonna address. If you're at 80% health, you're most likely gonna live through that freaking global, or basically probably also going to live through that cyclone that is placed on your healer, which is a good thing. On the reverse, it takes an awful lot of time to get you up once you have been downed, and that's also a good thing. If you are at 20% health, it should take some effort and some mana from me to get you up to par again. And right now it's just like some instant heal can just heal you up to basically your full health. It's kind of ridiculous. So, well, I'm not too thrilled about the balancing act right now. I think they just had to tone down, or in my opinion, they should have toned down the healing more than they did. But give us our instants back, give us our instant casts back, or at least some of them. Because right now it looks to be that the druid is probably the best healer because of his ability to do basically everything on the move. And that's never a good thing to be the top healer. You just want to be even. Everybody should be even. But again, this game is in beta. The game isn't out yet, and they can still fix some things, and I think they have nerfed it. I haven't read about it, but I felt like I was doing less healing at one point, and that's definitely a good thing. If they turn it down so that my healing is not as good as the other ones, but for that trade-off I get a lot of CC, and I also get more things that I can do on the move. It's fine. It's fine. That's what should have been, or that's what should happen. But again, I think other healers are just they had to nerf the interrupts. Just why does a warrior have to be interrupting if they can stun you like a billion times right now? I mean, back in TBC, it was really difficult for a warrior to interrupt you. A lot of people don't know that because they haven't played it, but it used to be that you had to be in combat stance in order to kick someone. That wasn't but that was not your freaking stance to be in doing damage. So what you had to do in order to interrupt someone is you had to switch out your stance, and then basically lose all your rage, or most of your rage. I think you had like 30 or so left. Interrupt them, then switch back in your offensive stance, and then continue to deal damage. But the trade-off would be basically worth it because he was interrupted for 4 seconds. And that was good. it was good. You weren't dealing as much damage in that time. You were sacrificing something to get that interrupt. But if you're playing 3-on-3s, and your mate is still dealing damage, it's a trade-off to be considered.